Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be discussing some breaking news that was just released by the CBSE this morning. And that is just a few more details on the Term 1 board exam pattern and some new information about the OMR sheets. So OMR sheets, if you didn't know, it stands for optical mark reading, and it's used in multiple choice question exams because it's easy for them to scan the test and immediately get the results. And the upcoming Term 1 board exam for grades 10 and 12 will be in this very OMR format. And the CBSE decided to add one extra space for bubbling our answer. But what does this even mean? What does bubbling our answer mean? What does an OMR sheet mean? How do we use it? I'll explain all of that in this video. So let's find out. Usually an OMR sheet would look something like this. This would be here for each question. So for every question you'd have 4 options, A, B, C, and D, and whatever correct option you would circle it darkly with a pen. So suppose for some random question I think the answer is A, so I circle A. Make sure that the mark is very dark, and the CBSE has suggested using only a pen. So it has to be completely filling the circle dark and rich. And so suppose I chose A, but then when I was checking my paper, I found out that I think the correct answer should be C. So A wouldn't be the correct answer and C was the correct answer. So how can I change it? Since we're not allowed to use pencil, we can't erase it. So at this point, we would be stuck and we would automatically lose marks. So to avoid this, the CBSE has decided to introduce an extra space right here, this extra box. So since we thought that A was incorrect, we'd cross that out, strike off A, choose the correct answer, which is C, and then in this box right here, off to the side, we will write the correct answer. So here are a few more tips. We have to only use a pen, no pencils, only a standard regulation pen. And I'm 99% sure it would be a blue pen, but be sure to check with your examination facilitator and your invigilator on the day of the exam. Avoid making mistakes on the OMR sheet as much as possible, because even if they give an extra space, if you make 2 or 3 mistakes, then it's hard to overcome. So the best tip, in my opinion, is to write the answers on a separate sheet of paper, because bubbling the answers won't take much time. If you do all the answers at once, it'll take 10 minutes max. So it would be better to write all our answers on a separate sheet of paper and then check the answers multiple times. Make sure that you think all the answers are correct and then start bubbling on the OMR sheet when you're almost finishing the exam. This would help us avoid making a mistake on the actual OMR sheet. Also, follow all instructions carefully. Make sure that you're circling the correct answer for the appropriate question. So, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not exactly sure what the board exam OMR sheet would look like, but this was something that I found online. And most of them would look like this. We have our school name, institution name, it would say CBSE Term 1 board exam here. Our name, some more details, our signatures. Also, you can see here, for bubbling our answers, these are all the wrong methods. So just crossing it out, or just scribbling it, or writing a check mark, or just circling half of it. The correct method is to entirely cover this entire space. So we have our questions here and the appropriate options, and we just choose the answers. But what I suggest is, usually they will give us an extra sheet, and on that sheet, whether it's just a rough sheet, just write all the answers down. So if there's going to be 40 questions, so for all 40 questions, write down your answers, check the questions multiple times, and then finally, in the last 10 minutes before you submit, quickly bubble it. And make sure that, suppose, for example, if 1 is A, then only select A. And be sure to check every answer properly. Because if you skip a question, then you will most likely fail, because all the other questions would also be wrong. So I highly suggest looking at it multiple times, carefully bubbling it. There's no rush. There's no prize for being number 1, but there is a prize for getting the highest score. So aim for getting the highest score and be careful with the bubbling. And that's all I can say. And yeah, like I mentioned earlier, marking the correct answer. It could cost you an entire mark or even more than that. So that concludes this short video, some breaking news released by the CBSE today. Be sure to share this video with all your friends so that they will know about this as well. And hope you prepare well for the exams. See you on November 15th. Thank you once again, and until the next video, this is Nishal Toom signing off. Peace.